TSM Vs CLG. I'm FN carried by center of Team WAP with my co-star.
FN Bowtie Doctor. And we're getting into an early pick and ban phase, going with a traditional Wukong ban against COG. Good solid ban, great team fighter.
Not to mention the top laner of CLG plays mostly Wukong and Heimerdinger, so that does take one of his champ pool right away. Then we see a rail ban coming on the side of CLG.
I like this rail ban. Feel like it's targeting Superior. I'm curious if they'll follow up with a Blitzcrank ban as well, just to limit his champ pool.
And we see the Heimerdinger coming out, banning out most of 8 HY's champ pool for the top lane. I'm surprised. It should go without saying that this is actually a really good ban for them.
Yeah, I'm curious on what he's gonna fall back on now that those two are banned. Of course, you always have the generic Malphite pick, which is straightforward and easy to play. So I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't just pick that up.
We see a quick succession ban of Zed for the side of COG and Kaiser for the side of TSM.
Yeah, the Zed seems to be more targeted toward Brownman. He likes to play Zed and Akali lately, from what I've seen. I don't really like Zed in the team play though, but they do Zed and Akali. So the mid lane is banned out for TSM, and heck, the top lane for COG seems to be banned out as well. So we'll see what else they can pull out of their sleeves.
We do see the Hecarim being picked on the side of TSM, which is just a really strong pitch. As we mentioned last broadcast, it is a strong jungler, strong clear. We're going to see if it dominates this game like it has most other games that we've seen played.
Yeah, something about being able to do a full clear before a scuttle spawns is a bit insane. But they responded with a Diana mid, I would assume, and a Senna pickup. Um, Now, that being said, I don't think it's going to be anywhere as impactful as carry by Senna for sure. He does make the champion look broken though and viable, so we're going to see if they can replicate what he pulled off last night.
I'm so surprised to see another Senna player in this tournament. I look forward to it, honestly. And we see the Silas picked on the side of TSM. Actually, a pretty good team fight pick or even split push. If that man gets ahead, not many people can actually match his 1v1.
Yeah, that's very true. And right now he actually has pretty good ults to work with, considering his kit allows him to get deep into a team fight, and having a fat Diana ult could turn the tides of any 5v5 for sure.
Not to mention just even stealing a Senna just shooting right through the team and his team, giving his team massive shield at the same time as dealing damage. That could be a really destructive ult, as we see Blitzcrank also picked up on the side of TSM.
Blitzcrank definitely the other comfort pick for Superior. Er, So definitely expected before he could get banned out as well. Cho'Gath top, I would assume, coming out of COG. A pretty easy passive laner.
Very safe. Goes well into most matchups. Yes, Cho'Gath, I would say. It's a very generic pick, but it is a decent pick because alongside a jungler smite, that it is truly hard to outsmite if they do coordinate the feast plus smite.
Yeah, definitely impossible. Aurelion Soul potential ban here, which would be interesting. I don't know of any Aurelion Soul players in all of League of Legends, to be honest. And that is converted over to Aurelion? No, Gnar.
Are bad.
I like the Gnar ban if TSM actually plays the champion, just because of how powerful that pick can be if played properly. Definitely one of the most oppressive top laners if coordinated well with his team.
And the other three bands we see are Morgana, Lee Sin, and Renekton. I actually like the Renekton band for the on the side of COG, so the Cho'Gath won't. If the Cho'Gath is top lane, does not have a hard matchup with the side of TSM being picking a dominant top laner in Renekton.
It's definitely, and it is COG picking up Udyr, which doesn't surprise me, considering when he Rolled Ice was a part of WAP. That was his dominant pick. He was able to make a lot of successful ganks and plays throughout his games on WAP with that pick to the point where they did start banning it out.
And now we see Misfortune picked up on the side of TSM, a really strong bot lane, honestly, and on the in terms of Misfortune blitzcrank together. To the one hook to the side of just taking out Sinnoh or an ADC slash support is really impactful because Misfortune does dish out a lot of early game damage.
Very true. So that being said, I would like to see something such as Thresh coming out on the side of COG just to counterbalance the Blitzcrank, lessening his options of a hook target.
I agree. And we see Urgot locked in on the side of TSM. A really strong pick at the moment. Urgot brings a lot of damage, a good split push, and even can actually team fight. So he's a really well-rounded pick for this game.
We have a Garen locked in, which is interesting. Makes me think that Cho'Gath or Garen can flex to the top or mid lane. Um, if I would have to guess, I would say Cho'Gath is going to go mid, uh, just to have a more presence upon the map. But really, who knows until we really get into the game.
So just coming out of the gate, just from the draft, who do you feel has a stronger team comp?
Um, Overall, I would like to think COG has definitely an easier time on the earlier side of things, just the way their kits coordinate and function. So if they can actually get some early game leads, they can definitely snowball the game into their favor. Just for the fact that I don't feel TSM's early game strength is completely matching.
So I also want to point out something here. For the when you mentioned the side of COG, do you notice what is their bot lane?
True, because I thought it was going to be a support final pick. Cho'Gath Senna?
So does that change your outlook of this team fight? I mean, of this team comp?
Ironically, not necessarily, because Cho'Gath or Senna can set each other up for a double hard CC, and Cho'Gath early does do a lot of damage with his Q. And the great thing about his Q Rupture, it has a lot of range to it, to where he can throw it out from a safe distance. And you pair that with a good Udyr gank, and that's actually free with the amount of CC that bot lane has, to be honest. I definitely will say this: they have to focus dragons early, get the free early pressure from that.
I'm actually gonna have to feel the opposite. Even though my main is picked by the side of COG, that bot lane is gonna be very volatile, and I feel the side of TSM will have an easier time laning for the simple fact if Blitz pulls either of the side of Cho'Gath or Senna under or even close to the tower, running away will not happen.
Yeah, very true. And the 2v2 straight out, I think it will be TSM advantage just for the Blitzcrank pool, but I would assume Udyr will focus heavily toward the bot side since Garen kind of wants to just do his own thing most of the time in top and just have a bot focused game plan going into this.
So you're saying the side of CLG Udyr is going to be should be bot most of the time. Where do you think Hecarim should focus?
Um, Honestly, I like to see getting Silas ahead, because it's a volatile mid lane matchup, both melee champions. Silas has good CC early, level 3, allowing Hecarim to have good gank opportunities. And if Silas gets ahead, he just runs away with this game.
Truly, because who even if they just truly don't even take a team fight, which they truly can, because the side of TSM's team is just looks disgusting in a team fight. I The side of COG would have to play it very well to not fight in a point where the Misfortune Odd and the Hecarim Odd can just truly layer in the damage. Also, if Silas does, as we mentioned, get the Diana or Senna Odd, just be so destructive here.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking of the combinations, having a Silas with Diana ult, pulling them all into the MF ult on top of a Hecarim ult, the synergy there is just out of this world. It's just a matter of execution, and we'll get to see if they can follow through.
I'm really just like just looking at this TSM team. I just think this is a good looking team. Like it just looks good. If they I want to root for the Senna,
It,
but it's so hard when I see all that damage and CC on the side of TSM.
I will tell you, like I tell everyone else, Senna is not a scary pick by any means. It's only scary in the hands of you. Otherwise, I find her lackluster in the sense of a scaling ADC. There's just better options out there.
Especially since it does take a good level of understanding of Senna and how to position and going for the maximizing of stats if she will be playing it uh as starving Senna or just farming. It's such a big difference in either pick. I'm I don't know how they're gonna do it this game.
Now, I'd like to touch on that since you are a Senna one trick while we wait for this game to get started. The starving Senna versus farming Senna. Obviously, farming Senna, you're going to get items a little faster. Starving, you're going to get those souls a little bit faster. Uh, what preference do you think is just better for you or just in general?
when it comes to my play style for Senna, I'm gonna opt for the fasting Senna because I know that if I have a competent person I am doing it with, that the CS won't matter because I will not only be getting my stacks from poking, but also getting the gold from getting kills because I'm going to set them up to a spot where we can either have the jungler come down and kill, or we'll just truly kill them ourselves in the bot lane. So fasting is my preference, but in a game where I'm with someone and I do not know how they will play, I would just opt to farm.
Makes sense. If you're getting optimal stack quantities coming in, go that route. But if not, farm away, get those item spikes.
Indeed,
I
indeed.
think we're about to get into this big matchup versus TSM and CLG. Now, going into this, TSM are favored and are at the number one spot right now, sitting at 6-1, while CLG on the opposite spectrum, sitting at 1-6. But don't let that fool you. CLG has had good games and good opportunity to win games, so this should be able to turn to be a pretty solid game overall, in my opinion.
I will say we are starting off the game, and we do see that Senna does have a support item, so they are going for a fasting Senna route, which is my preference. So we're gonna see how she plays towards the start of lane phase if she'll go and be aggressive and get these pokes off on the Blitzcrank.
Was that a heal?
Yes, it was.
Ooh,
That's a
interesting.
big loss on the side of CLG to use heal, and
We are getting an invade. Blitzcrank coming up from the bottom half. There's no wards down, so they could commit to this, but it doesn't seem like the mid laner wants to really do anything about it. Now, I will point out this ward on blue buff is, in my opinion, a really bad ward. If you're going to get a ward down, ideally on an invade, just put it between the Grump and the blue buff. That way you have timers on both uh, camps, and it gives you elongated information of how long the enemy jungler is at that location.
I also want to point out, if you notice, both teams' top laners are just sitting in the top lane. I do not like this. This is useless. This is wasted time. You are doing nothing here. Like you could be warding each enemy's buff, so you
Yep.
can see when the other team gets there. This is just wasted. This should never happen ever.
Yeah, if you have opportunity to get information, go for the information. You don't know how drastically that helps in the long run.
So we do see Hecarim Hecarim starting his full clear, going down to Krugs after taking red buff. We are
Cho'Gath's
working his way.
pathing a little late to the bot lane.
Yeah, Cho'Gath is now down 3 CS from,
So he will hit level 2 slightly late, but allowing Senna to hit level 2 a little bit faster.
and we do notice that the Senna is sitting further back for some reason, even going for the fasting center route when she should be opting to go for a more aggressive playstyle, getting pokes in to get these early stacks. So you're maximizing stacks early to truly scale into the late game as quickly as possible.
Both junglers opting into a full clear bottom to top, so they should
Senna
be
misses W on a misfortune and gets hooked by the Blitzcrank. Early damage coming out from the side of TSM. TSM just scores first blood on Senna.
crucial that that heal was blown early, costing that first blood. Whew.
That is such a blunder on the side of CLG, losing that heal early and getting and not respecting the fact that there is a Blitzcrank in the game and stepping up to the wave even when she knows that her Cho'Gath is not level 2 yet. Mid
Every
lane, for the most part, is pretty even. Diana is pushing in this large wave into the Silas's tower. We're going to see how Silas actually manages to get most of this CS.
I
It looks like he's actually opting to not get most of it.
Hecarim coming in cannot steal the scuttle. I do not like this by the Udyr, by the way. He did not once bear stance the scuttle crab, breaking the shield with the CC, ca causing him to waste a lot of time for no reason doing the camp.
And we do see that the side of TSM did opt to push in the bottom lane wave and then get a back early to make sure to capitalize on the fact that they can spend their gold that they just got from the kill onto the Senna.
And you gotta gank top lane from the Udyr. It's pretty simple, like I said. Run in, bear stance, slap him in the face a little bit, and that's all she wrote.
And what's so surprising about that is not only does the side of TSM have a ward down in the river, he did opt to hold flash. I'm sure he was just caught out, just out. Like, but
That's
just to know that you positioned that far up and had vision down is very offsetting to me.
yeah. Remember, warding does nothing if you do not look at the minimap. Now, I find it interesting that the fact that bottom scuttle is just now being taken. Um, Luckily, Hecarim was able to get it. He chooses not to invade and take camps, which is very odd.
He's just walking around in Udyr's
I
bot
would like to
side.
see him to gank bot with this overextension, knowing that they have no flash bottom. Senna should be easy pickings here. He engages hard. Blitzcrank gets the knock up. It should be double kill if he holds the hook. Can he hook the Cho'Gath? He gets the W. Max range not able to connect, but they do pick up the Senna with the kill going over to MF, which is huge. Already giving her a 150 gold bounty.
We do see that the Hex sitting bot does actually pay off for the side of TSM. He finds a great gank opportunity onto the bot lane of CLG, actually getting securing the kill onto the Senna. This is not looking good for CLG early on, especially going the farming center route.
Yeah, and I feel like as a Senna Cho'Gath with not much peel or disengage, you don't want to overextend too much when you're flashless. It's just too easy for Hecarim to charge in, set up the Blitzcrank for the easy knockup. That's just going to be a rinse and repeat, I think, for the rest of this game, and we'll probably see this MF snowball out of control here soon.
Okay, we do see that TSM is opting to go for an early dragon here. 6 minutes on the clock right now, and they are fully committing to it. They do have lane prio, and CLG has no vision hardly towards the dragon, so this should be free over to the side of TSM. Do you see Hecarim pathing towards mid? See, we're gonna see if he is able to get off a gank here. He is seen on a ward though.
Do they opt in to try to make a play on him is the question. Silas has no mana. They should engage on this if I were the side of COG. But they're choosing not to, which is interesting considering Udyr does have flash. That's one major thing mid laners should focus on. If your opponent has no mana, there's nothing to be afraid of. They are casters. They cannot do anything with autos. Ooh, Blitzcrank
Well,
nearly getting a good hook there, but splitting the uprights.
I do want to say even MF is up 2 kills, but Cho'Gath is for the most part keeping up in CS and even in a range 2 melee matchup, he is keeping up in CS. 47 to 42 currently on the board.
Udyr is ganking top, but he's not synergized with his Garen, so it's just a little poke damage and he walks away. Is there a way to see Senna stacks?
You have to click on her. She
She's
currently
23. 23 at 8 minutes. How do you feel about that? Is that bad?
in terms of a non-Senna player, it's not good, but it's not bad. She is opting to sit back most of the time and not go for poke, so her stacks are lower than I would assume a person would be at 8 minutes. Me personally, I would choose to sit more towards 40 to 45
So,
at this point. Oh, she does.
oh, she goes for the soul and then gets hooked by the Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank does land the combo. MF flashes in to try to commit to the kill. The heal is not quite enough to keep her alive, but they do a trade back kill, getting a shutdown onto the Cho'Gath. Hecarim's bottom, but there's not much going on after that.
Hecarim does look to be looking to see if he can do something here. Running.
So
Oh, he's going for the scuttle actually.
I I want to see what happens in the next 5 minutes in the spot lane. Both MF and Senna have blown flash and heal at the same time. Great gank opportunity for both junglers. Let's see if they capitalize on it.
So we are seeing that the bot laners are trading kills at this point, but truly it's still going to the side of MF early for the simple fact she is getting the farming gold plus the kill gold. Oh, MF was able to a nice ult to split up Cho'Gath and Senna. Senna goes down again. This is
Another free kill gifted over.
another kill gifted over to
I'm
the
going to go ahead and give a little tip of the day. When, ladies and gentlemen, you lane against a Blitzcrank and he is playing bush, you play opposite side. You get nowhere near that bush and you stay behind a minion at all times. If there is no minion to stay behind, you make sure you are gapped far enough to where he can't even get remotely close to you. Yes, you may lose some CS, but you'll walk away with your life.
You cannot disrespect the Blitzcrank in this lane. The early damage from this MF being already up 4 kills, it's disgusting. You cannot disrespect it. Blitz MF is
Oof.
steamrolling this bot lane currently.
Now, I would like to think, with bot resetting, Hecarim plays toward topside. He has camps to still clear, and focus on this Rift Herald, right? Let's bust open mid lane, and get this game rolling. Just snowball it out of control because they're currently in the driver's seat.
We do see the fight breaking out
Ooh,
top
does he
though.
get the solo kill? He does. Garen spin to win, already with a fat CS lead and putting up a kill to his name now. Snowballing. He's unfortunately not the best team fighter. Right now we have a Udyr ganking, but Silas opts to go back in, but Udyr does not bear slap him, so nothing will come of it.
This
Ooh.
is a very interesting game so far, to say the least. We see the side of CLG getting kills on the top half through the Garen and the Udyr getting both kills, 2 kills onto the Urgot. But
Gar-
the middle being, even honestly, with Silas being up just a few CS and bot lane just being dominant on the side of TSM.
Now, just from my perspective, we might have a play Blitzcrank running in, grabbing with a fine MF ult onto the Cho'Gath. Double TP coming to the bot lane though. We have 4 members of CLG on the bot lane fully committing to this bot lane. Blitzcrank. Now what do they do afterwards? They'll take a dragon, but I don't know if that's fully worth it, to be honest. Because the shutdown was on the MF, so you don't get the bonus gold. You're allowing the Urgot to get back into the game a little bit,
We
and
do see the side of
Hecarim
TSM
does
taking
take
top turret.
Rift Herald, so I don't agree with the double TB, but I like the fact that they're trying to make team plays.
I would have actually preferred to see this Rift Herald be taken top to maximize the amount of damage onto the turrets, just for the simple fact that you know the enemy team is on Dragon. Take it top, take the 2 plates, smash it with the Rift Herald. Almost the easiest first turret you can possibly be given at the point if you have to trade the Dragon away.
I agree, and it also funnels more gold into Urgot, right? He's slightly behind, but if he does get more gold, he is going to be able to handle the Garen. He just has to catch up.
He was able to take 2 plates off of the turret, which is really good for the fact that he was in lane alone and Garen did TP away for a singular kill onto a Blitzcrank plus the 1 dragon. I do not think it's worth to use 2 TPs to kill the Blitzcrank for the 1 dragon, honestly.
No, dragons are definitely not really worth anything anymore. This season, uh, ultimately it's about the soul and individual stat wise. Since the subtle changes, their values aren't worth committing or dying for. If you can't get there first, just give it, in my opinion.
Like, truly, I want to say it's not even 10 AP or AD for a singular Inferno Dragon. And the side
Yeah.
of CLG lost 2 turret plates on the top half and 2 turret plates on the mid turret.
A
No,
big hook by Blitzcrank. Senna flashes out, but still gets popped because of that juicy damage coming from the completed item MF. But we do have a skirmish going in the top lane, and Garen seems to heavily lose out on that one. Silas trying to engage on Diana, but misses the ability. Charging in Hecarim. Ults in, knocks her back. They should be able to finalize this kill. Diana ults, and they do find the kill. Hecarim taking a little bit more, but it's fine. He's just going to walk away. I'm a little confused on Diana's positioning there.
MF comes out in the mid lane, chunking Udyr, but not actually securing
Senna
Udyr.
ults top. Garen's going for maybe a solo kill again. Not quite enough damage on the true damage ultimate.
And we do see Udyr opt to stay here to clear this wave. I think is really smart, making sure he does not miss any CS for the simple fact Garen just chose to walk away.
Yeah, after that ult's used, he doesn't have much kill threat at that point, so I feel like Blitzcrank's going to look for a pick here.
If I was the side of TSM, I would definitely want to keep this snowball going bot lane, hooking them as much as you possibly can, making them use summoners, forcing them to back off this wave, and just truly taking their lead to the next level, honestly.
Um, I Udyr may be looking for a bot gank. He is staying next to the blast cone. Bot lane
Top
is
turret
playing kind of far back though, so I don't think he'll be able to find anything.
on the
He,
side of CLG.
he does opt the run in. He is Kim tanking. MF does get knocked up. She flashes, but then still gets stunned. Can Udyr run her down? They do not find the damage, but they do have Blitzcrank out of position. Blitzcrank does get the pull, and he does not find a kill on Udyr either. Blitzcrank does fall, but MF following up with multiple damage. Silas is here on the bot side. Silas might be able to look for a double kill here. They back off because the Diana matches the roam.
Diana is now here. We do see Garrett is now chunking down the mid turret after taking the top turret. Is he gonna get this turret for free? No one's going no one to answer this mid Garen push. This should never be allowed. Like,
It's funny to say, but the Garen might be their win con. If he keeps snowballing his own lead the way he is, he will be a threat to deal with in the split push game. But it seems like Udyr's going to be able to match this top turret.
we do see 3 people on the side of CLG making their way to the top lane. Urgot's going
They should be able to catch him with Urgot's speed. Urgot has to. He's just done for.
blocking the Urgot off by the Diana. They do secure the kill
I
onto
would
the
like to see the kill go to Diana, honestly. Snowball her a little bit because she will be able to single-handedly win a team fight. So here we are at 16 minutes. Kills tied at 6-6. Gold nearly tied, and Dragons even 1-1 with TSM opting in to take this Cloud Drake. Let's see if they don't. They're overcommitting though, because they are stuck in the Dragon Pit with the rest of CLG here to clean them up. A huge MF ult dishing out a lot of damage, but with Silas on the backside trying to get a pick onto the Senna, but it doesn't seem like he's gonna have enough damage to burst her down. And they have a quadra kill coming out onto the Garen. That is huge. And just like that, out of position, overcommitting to a dragon that gives you literally no stats. COG are now in the driver's seat, sitting at 17 minutes, gaining a 2K gold lead after I just said they were even 10 seconds ago.
And they are choosing to opt to get this Rift Herald. Getting this second Rift Herald would actually be really nice for the side of COG, allowing them to open
Huge,
up some part of the map, as well as getting this inner mid turret.
huge damage from the Garen onto
And
that turret.
through just over committing for a Cloud Drake that was not truly that important, they did
I,
not respect the fact that their team was not there, but
in,
also positioning everyone towards the pit, making it so easy for the side of COG to just clean house.
in case people do not know, Cloud Drake does not give you 10% on your cooldown anymore. It is only, I believe, 12 ability haste towards your cooldown ultimate,
Yes.
which is nowhere near as valuable, and it is not worth dying for sure.
Especially not 4 kills over to the killer of COG being the Garen currently.
He is going to be a threat.
I truly, at this point, do not see anyone solo matching that Garen at this point now. Like,
He is probably
already
300,
before,
and he just backed and completed his dead man's.
even before with the Urgot barely even able to sit lane with the Garen, even with 2 kills. Now he can't even touch that lane without Garen just truly running him down.
And as I was going to say earlier, I would definitely want my top laner ahead more than my ADC. We do have a Hecarim engaging onto the Diana top lane. Urgot cutting off her exit path. She was a little overextended, and the kill will be gifted over to Urgot. Meanwhile, we have Garen engaging onto the Sylas mid lane. Not much Sylas can do. He's just kind of getting run down. He does Frost, but it seems like he gets flashed on by the Garen. Garen is still chasing him down. Cannot find the kill, though.
We do see the Rift Herald being popped on the side of COG towards the bot turret.
But
Seems
they
like
overcommit, and the Udyr should fall. He does not fall.
Udyr does not
They
fall.
turn to kill the Rift Herald, which is interesting there. MF did have bullet time,
Right?
so she could have
Get
killed him.
stats on this top lane of TSM.
Garen engages,
Garen snipering
spin to
in.
win. They do blow heal here. Senna does line the snare. That means he should be dead on the Blitzcrank. He ults to secure the kill with the late rotate by the TSM squad.
So the side of COG just given a free bot turret, literally not having to lose any of their teammates.
Yeah,
That's crazy to me.
yeah, the charge was already going to go through. Just commit the kill onto the Udyr and get something back.
And I do want to just take a look over the CS differences real quick. In the top lane, we have Garen being up about 30 CS on the Urgot, Heck being up about 40 CS on the Udyr, Silas being up 30 CS on the Diana, and about a 37 CS lead for the Misfortune to the Cho'Gath. So we are seeing some pretty decently sized CS gaps in the between the two teams currently.
Yeah, definitely seems like it's counterbalancing pretty well though overall. Um, so far we're breaking 21 minutes, and I'll say the junglers have been pretty passive overall in my opinion. They're huge impactful jungle ganks, and yet I have yet to see a flash bear slap from the Udyr.
We I point out that Garen is truly 3.9k gold ahead of this Urgot currently.
He is the
3
gold lead.
Garen. This man is a
They
force.
have a stack into the pixel brush. They immediately evaporate Silas, thus should be handing over the next dragon to the TSM squad, I would imagine.
So
Um,
at this they should actually just give up the dragon and rotate to Baron?
Unfortunately, MF isn't the fastest at taking Baron. And with Silas
No, I mean,
down. Oh, you on the side of COG?
yeah.
No, no, for the same fact that Senna does also not take Baron very quickly at the first 20-minute mark. Now we'll say they just need to give this dragon instead of even positioning, but Hecarim decides to get called out and just die.
Oh, into the
And spinning
Garen.
the winning, there's nothing going on to the Garen to do any damage. They're just slapping him around. It's not even a team
Actually,
fight.
good decision.
Not even a team fight. Not even close. Yeah,
TSM throws their life away trying to contest 4 4v3.
4v5. As I said before, the dragon's not worth it. It's not soul. It's just putting you at a 2-to-2 dragon ratio, which is not anything. It's not going to change the game. Don't int for dragons.
This
They,
is insanity to me that they are
I
throw
would,
like
yeah, I'm lost for
wasting
words on
life
that one.
for nothing.
Now, this being said, they have still an opportunity of coming back right. MF's ultimates are huge. Positioned correctly with her team, they can get a massive wombo off. So they're definitely not out of this game by any means. It's only a 2k gold lead on the side of COG, so not game ending, but crucial mistakes like that a couple more times, and that'll be all she wrote, giving COG their second win of the year.
I will say if I just want to take a quick look at the MF's build currently. She is opting to split build currently. She does have a Last Whisper, but also the components for Collector going. I don't like the split building here. You just need to finish these items so you are consistently showing the strength of the amount of farm you have and the kills that you possess over this Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath opting to complete 2 items, being Thornmail and Crossfire Gauntlet,
Good
put him
choices.
at a power advantage over the
And
TSM.
COG are opting into going for this Baron, while the side of TSM are nowhere near at the moment. They're smelling something now. They're going to go sniff it. See them passing through the blue side, but it might be too little too late. Hecarim does have the timing to jump in there if he wants to,
He
but it is
failed
against the Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath should not get outsmited on this.
he failed
Or
hard.
someone early smites. Cho'Gath does finish it, but not with his ultimate. Hecarim's on his way out. Blitzcrank pulls in, securing his death.
TSM, one, not getting vision early on the Baron side, but also trying to fight a 3v5 situation.
Yeah, I
Throws and throws some more coming out from the side of TSM.
vision control is very crucial, and that just showed it there. COG kind of set up, invaded blue side, had a little knowledge, um, and made a really great call, in my opinion, to go for the Baron, knowing that they had a strong secure through the Cho'Gath.
I will say this. I did call that they could go for this early Baron. It could happen. Just a little no knowledge of with vision and
hmm
TSM having no vision truly on the map. It's just an easy burn for the side of CLG.
I honestly think that could have been different if the team of TSM would have approached a little sooner, because you knew they were blue side, you knew they were in that area, should have had some type of idea, and that's why it's crucial to have your blue trinket. MF should already had hers at level 9. She still has not gotten it, but the blue trinkets are lifesavers. You don't have to face check your life away, and then you get to have a little bit of knowledge of what's going on the map without dying.
Now we do for the current gold difference. We are seeing about a 6k gold, well 5.1k gold lead for the side of CLG. We're gonna see how they use this Baron to push this gold lead even further. Still having TSM's outer top turret and outer bot turret. Let's see if they will split the map or how they will go about pushing into the side of TSM's base.
I will say this: if I'm the side of COG, I'm sending Senna, Diana, and Udyr mid lane. send the Cho'Gath top, send the Garen bottom. Split them all 3 lanes and walk it down their throats. They can't enter the Cho. They don't have enough damage because she still has not completed Lord Dom's. They cannot enter the Garen. He's too fast, too slippery. And the great disengage between Udyr and Diana, I just feel it would be all she wrote. They were definitely getting 2 hits. But they opted into doing a bush cheese for the dragon coming up. And once again, Silas is caught out. And Blitzcrank gets the pull on Cho'Gath is not who you want. They do get an insane wobble combo with the MF ult. Is this the fight that turns it? No, Garen comes and assassinates the MF while Hecarim runs down Senna. But seems like Garen's just doing Garen things, spinning the winning, walking him down. He should definitely secure the kill with a knockup coming soon from the Cho'Gath, which is securing the kill. And that quadra kill is working wonders from earlier, showing how powerful the Garen pick can be if he does get ahead and there's nothing to actually kill him.
This game is not going at all how I thought it would go at the beginning. VLG truly showing that this Garen pick is working for them.
Yeah, and if anything, this is going to be a crucial statement of Riot. ADCs are not broken. Don't nerf them. MF was drastically ahead, and it just did not matter because top diff so far.
Truly, we see the 4-item Garen. No one else even barely having a 3rd item in this game. Garen sitting on his 4th item there, choosing to take the dragon here for soul point.
And
Hecarim has
Hecarim just decides to N10. Does he get out with his life? He does. But he has no ghost now for the engage, which is crucial for him getting massive damage and picks.
Now we do see on the side of COG is choosing to go towards mid lane while the Garen pushes up the bot wave. We're not seeing the full 1-3-1 split, but we are going to see
Oh,
the
Baron.
side of COG split the side of TSM. I do not see anyone contesting that Garen. That Garen is going to just take that base.
They do get a good pick onto Senna, but Senna is not the carry. And a huge Diana ult pulls both of them in. They do manage to kill the Urgot. Silas going into the backline, picking up a kill himself onto the Senna. And then Hecarim is charging for the Diana, but not anything to follow up to secure that kill. So it looks like it's just going to be a 1-for-1.
Taking the bot turret for free. He is choosing to back out here.
Doing the typical Garen thing. I have no team. Team is me.
Senna is showing that there is still some opportunity, probably not large opportunity, but for TSM to come back into the game if people were just consistently mispositioned and give Blitzcrank the easiest hooks of his life.
And that is the beauty of Blitzcrank, right? Even if your team is behind, you get that one good pick, and you can turn the tides for your team. Because, like we said, MF is still huge. She can get a massive ult off with her team, and that's all she wrote. Because she will shred down anybody in the bullet times path. Because these are not easy fights. TSM or CLG are walking away bleeding most of these fights, so a couple of different adjustments, and you could see TSM coming through with a big team fight, and we might get something with the Baron coming up.
I do want to point out here, TSM has vision in their upper jungle, but has no vision on the Baron itself.
Yes, sir.
The side of COG could go for a rush here again and take it right under the eyes of TSM.
Urgot pathing bottom. He does have TP, but they're gonna do another bush cheese. Will the 5th time work? And it does work. Hecarim falls, and a second one goes down as the Blitzcrank, and they're following up on the Silas. He should fall as well. That is 3-for-0. They're looking to want to siege mid. I think they should go Baron and then just run it down. They don't need everybody.
To this game, ADCs buy your blue trinket. MF at 31 minutes just bought blue trinket. She should already have
9 minutes.
level 9. Buy blue trinket. It will save your team's life.
Yeah, and there's a 3 level difference between Urgot and Garen. Garen just easily walking down. MF trying to 1v1 into the Senna, but Senna does not know what Senna does and just gets walked down by the MF, disrespecting her. Huge pickup from the Garen. Garen just locked in a black cleaver. His spin is going to make everyone look like paper at this point.
We do see this that Garrett is now full build.
I would like to ask this. You're side of TSM. How are you coming back in this game? Mind you, MF does have Lord Doms now.
Even with Lord Doms, how do you stop the Garen? She
My
cannot match his split.
my answer is this. They they might have a pick on Diana, which they do, but that is not the carry. They
Oh, MF loses
oh,
off
that's
the
big. That's
Cho'Gath
big.
last ball.
TSM have to find some type of synergistic power and line up their abilities. If they can do this, they will win the team fight. I know they're down by almost 10k gold. It looks grim for them, but they have a great wombo. They just have to hit it. Silas engaging with a Diana ultimate onto the Everfrost procs, solidifying people's lives onto the MF bullet time. I haven't seen it happen yet, but the stars might align.
Udyr choosing to run in and literally just smite the Dragon Crab away from the Hecarim.
And Garen going in 1v5.
Backline of TSM.
And MF flashing away, she should die here. Garen ulting. And I think that's all she wrote. They should just run it down mid. Ignore Soul, just run it down. Udyr slapping the side of TSM.
Yeah, he is just tanking the damage of Urgot and Silas.
And from that looks like all she wrote. TSM does seem to fall and go down and end the week at 6-2, improving CLG's record to 2-6. Like I said, started this match, CLG might be at the bottom, but they are scrappy and have the capabilities of getting a fat win, like they just did today.
Cloudsoul going over to the side of CLG as
GG, well played,
it
CLG. Congrats on the big win. I'm not even going to ask you because I think you and I both agree who player of the game is here.
without a shadow of a doubt, that Garen just massacred the team of TSM.
I would like to say COG overall played well, but Garen said, "Hop in my backpack, boys. We're taking you for a ride." Oof.
I
Almost a 10k deficit in the top lane.
that alone almost having a 10k lead. That's massive. A laner getting I
And it seems like we're about to get an interview with the Garen here in a second, um, and see his thoughts on the game through his eyes. And that MF damage and Urgot damage showing that they were trying to fight back. They just couldn't synergize.
hello.
Hello?
I think we just got the Garen in. Hello, Cammy.
Hello.
How do you truly feel after that game you
Pretty
just
good. Our
played?
second win. It was nice.
So, going into that game, about mid-game, your bot lane was down as much as you were ahead, and pretty much a stalemate in the mid lane. How confident were you going through that mid game that y'all were able to pull
I
through
was
and get
pretty
the win?
confident. I was pretty confident because as a Garen, I can just smack MF and Blitzcrank because they're gonna be fairly squishy in mid game and early game. So I was confident I could just bop them with a Q on Garen and then ulti. Same with Silas. Silas didn't pose much of a threat as well, except for his CC with Everfrost.
Mm.
So at any point in that game, did you feel that TSM could come back or see a way for them to come back to actually shut you down or even just get around your split push?
Maybe that the first Baron when the Hecarim tried to go in for that steal, that could have been bad for us if his ult made it through the pit, but thankfully it didn't, and they couldn't steal Baron. And I think if they did, it would have been pretty bad for us as well, because they would have collapsed on us. So it's good that he missed his ult and we got the Baron, thankfully.
And we're gonna wrap this up with one final question. Um, Going forward, picking up that second win in CLG's record sitting at 2-6, I believe now, taking down the number one seeded team. What do you have to say to any other competition that might have looked down originally on CLG?
Um, we're the underdogs. We're ready to take anyone down. We just need to be in our A game.
I like it. I like it.
Well,
Well, thank.
thanks for coming, Kimmy, for this interview. You played damn well.
Thanks.
I'll have to say, good on you. GG CLG.
Thanks. Thanks for the interview. I'll see you guys later.
See ya.
Have a good one. Wow, just not the outcome I thought we were gonna have.
Not at all. So we are going to wrap it up here. The win going over to the side of COG. Uh, TSM, I'm going to hope you can come back and show that you are the top seed and not have a bad performance as you just did against the bottom seed. Just shows that the bottom seed can triumph over the top seed.
Very true. Until next time, I hope y'all turn in and catch the next game, and we have an exciting one just as like this one. Take care.
Bye bye.